Hi Girl Scouts, I'm Sue Molina and I'm with Girl Scouts of Wisconsin Southeast. Basic first aid knowledge is helpful when dealing with trauma situations. We're going to do step 3 from the senior first aid batch. We'll learn how to use basic objects to make splints. This activity will take you anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how many different kinds of splints you want to try to make. All you'll need are everyday items that you can find from around your house that can be repurposed into splint materials. I'll give you an idea of what to look for in just a bit. But first, what is the purpose of a splint? Any suspected broken bone or dislocation should be splinted, immobilized, or both. An effective splint helps to prevent further injury and provides pain relief. A splint is a piece of medical equipment used to keep an injured body part from moving and to protect it from any further damage while the injured person is taken to the hospital or waiting for more advanced medical treatment to arrive. You can make splints out of everyday items too. You'll need to find 2 different types of objects. First, you're going to want to look for rigid materials, such as cardboard, broomstick, rolled up newspaper or magazines. Wooden spoons or plastic spoons work. I have a couple of those here. You can even use pens or markers to splint fingers. You could try branches from your backyard or even a hiking pole or a ski pole. Preferably, your rigid materials will be about as long as the bone that you're going to splint. Then you'll need to find softer materials to hold your rigid items in place. Think of things like bandanas, ace wraps. You can use long socks, belts, scarves, or even cut up fabric like I have from a project leftover. You get the idea. If you want to look for everyday items now, go ahead and hit pause, or you can find your items after the video too. You'll also need to find someone to be your patient. One basic rule of splinting is that the joint above and below the broken bone should be immobilized to protect the fractured site. So, if the lower leg is broken, the splint should immobilize both the ankle and the knee. But if there's an injury to someone's wrist, the splint should immobilize the hand and the lower arm so the wrist does not bend. And never straighten any deformed areas before splinting. The process of straightening could worsen the injury. Leave this up to the doctors. A good rule of thumb is to splint the injury as you find the person, especially when they're experiencing pain. I'm going to show you 2 different kinds of splints with the materials that I found lying around my house. For our first splint, let's say that I jammed my finger last night while playing basketball. And when I woke up this morning, it still hurt. I decided that I'm going to splint my finger because I want to ease the pain while it continues to heal. I can make a splint out of a pen and some band-aids for my finger. So what I'll do is, I also have a scissors here because I pre-cut my band-aids down the center to make them a little bit longer and narrower so they fully wrap around my fingers because I did not have long band-aids. So I have those pre-cut here. What I'll do is I will take the pen and put it on the bottom side of my finger. Then I'll take the first band-aid and around the top of the finger, I will wrap the band-aid around my finger and the pen. Then I'll take the other band-aid and wrap it around the base. There. I've just splinted my finger. That's our first splint out of everyday materials you can find at your home. As you can see, Mickey Mouse is going to be my second injured person that I will be splinting. Mickey Mouse told me that he slipped on the ice and hurt his right arm. And I'm actually suspecting that he might have fractured his lower arm. And so that's the part of the body that I need to immobilize. For this splint, I am going to use a brightly colored Minecraft sword so you can see it on the video. And I'm also going to use a couple pieces of fabric strips that I showed you just a bit ago. We are going to put the Minecraft sword underneath the arm. And since his lower arm, this area is where he injured himself, we're going to tie off below that area and above that area. So I've tied off around his hand. Now I'm going to tie off on his upper arm. There, now Mickey Mouse's arm is splinted. With an arm injury, you can take splinting one more step to create a sling to help stabilize the injury even more. You can use a pillowcase, a thin blanket, a triangular bandage if you happen to have one, or maybe even a wide scarf. I'm going to use a piece of fabric that I have. And so with my piece of fabric, I'm going to do the best I can to turn it into a triangular shape. And the long edge of the triangle I'm going to put near Mickey's left arm, since his right arm is the arm that is injured. With the top of the triangle, I'm going to very carefully put it underneath the arm while Mickey is holding the arm across his chest over his left shoulder. And then I am going to take the bottom end of the triangle and put it across his right arm. And then I'm going to tie a gentle knot in the back to support his arm. Now, Mickey's a stuffed animal, not a person, but on a person, they would be able to use their other hand to support their injury while you were putting a sling on them. The elbow will also end up somewhere near the other triangle that you haven't secured yet. You can twist that part of the triangle and tuck it under to help really support that arm. Whatever the situation, once you're done splinting, stay with the injured person until advanced medical care is available. While you're waiting for that advanced medical care, the injured person's pulses and sensations should be checked below the splint at least once per hour. If the person is complaining of tightness or tingling or numbness, the wrapping material might be too tight and you could wrap it a little bit more loosely. And that's it. You just completed step 3 of the Senior First Aid Badge. What was easy about this activity? Did you find any of this difficult to do? After you've practiced making a few splints, did you notice that some everyday materials work better than others? And if so, why do you think that is? If you liked what you did here, do a little research to see what other body parts you can splint with everyday items and try it out. Or complete the other steps from the Senior First Aid Badge to earn the award. You can also check out our Girl Scouts at Home webpage for other opportunities. Thanks for doing this activity with me. And if you aren't a Girl Scout and want to join, go to girlscouts.org to learn more. Till next time.